Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about how you can blend your makeup to look seamless. So the first thing you're going to want to make sure you're doing is moisturizing your skin. And if you have oily skin, use an oil-free moisturizer, and if you have a dry skin, use one that is suited for your skin. If you go to drugstore or anywhere you get your skincare, I'm very sure you will find one that says for oily skin or for dry skin. So for today's makeup, I'm going to be using this one that has an SPF 30. I like using an SPF moisturizer when I'm doing a video because it just hydrates your skin. So now we've hydrated our skin, the next thing you want to make sure you're doing is you're priming your skin. Primer serves as a canvas. It serves as a barrier between your skin and your makeup. You know, if you use too much makeup, you could clog your pores, but this will make sure that you're not putting your makeup directly on your skin, as well as helping your makeup to stay on your skin for a long time. So here I found one that really works well for me. I have another one that I use, but this also I started trying it recently. So make sure you find one that works for you. So you're just gonna take a few pumps. You want to make sure you're putting it on your temples because those are the areas where you crease. So now my skin is hydrated, it's also prepped with primer, and is ready to take in any makeup I have on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be using a color corrector. You can use an orange color corrector or a dark concealer, darker than your skin tone, just a shade darker than your skin tone. So I'm going to be using this one from Mary Kay, and I'm just going to put it on the parts where I have dark marks. This is a bit mark on my forehead, but I just like to conceal it just so my makeup can blend out seamlessly. So all these other part of my face is just where I have like my acne scars. Actually, they come out more pronounced in videos. That's what I've noticed, especially using this camera. So now I'm going to use the tip of my sponge. It's already soaked in water, and I'm going to just use it to blend in just lightly. The reason for doing this is if you do not cover your blemishes, what you end up doing is put too much product, and that could be difficult for you to blend in. So that's the reason you need to cover your blemish before you start putting on any other product on your skin. My blemish is very controlled right now. It's not as pronounced or obvious as it was even on my forehead, so we can go into use other products. So you want to make sure you're using a shade that is just next to your skin tone, because if it's too light, I know a lot of people like to do that. If it is too light, you might not be able to blend it in, or you might think it's blended in, but if you forget to blend in a certain part of your face, certain angles of your face, people are going to see the difference between that foundation and your actual skin tone. So I'm just going to be dragging this on my skin like this. And I'm going to be spraying my brush before I start to blend. Now when you're blending your foundation, you want to make sure you're blending downwards because of your hairlines. You know your hair grows downwards on your face. You want to blend downward because you don't want to push your hair. You don't want to push the hair on your face in another direction. And use what works for you. If a brush works for you, use it. And if a blending sponge works for you, that's also fine. So the next thing we're going to be doing is our concealer. When you take your concealer, especially if you're using a stick like this, when you bring it out of the bottle, you want to make sure you're taking out the excess, just because you don't want it to be too much on your face. So I'm just going to go in the inner corners of my eyes, just like so. And I'm going to go on the other side. And then I'm just going to put a little bit here just to give me like a lifting effect. And then a little bit here. And then I'm going to put like a V here. Then I'm going to put on my forehead as well. So after doing this, you want to spray your face because you want to make it easy to blend, especially when you're using a concealer that's a bit dry. Now you can either spray your face or you can spray or wet your blending sponge. If your blending sponge isn't wet, you're not going to be able to make this process seamless as possible. So now we finished blending the concealer. As you can see how it looks. Make sure you're using a clear mirror to make sure you're blending your concealer. Next thing we're going to be doing is using our contour. Now I usually don't use a stick contour, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to be using this contour, and most importantly this contour is very dark. It's very darker than my skin tone, but we're going to make it work because we're going to use it and use a foundation on top of it so it can blend evenly on my skin. You want to put just a little bit, and I think that's too much. You want to put just a little bit, and you want to put it up because you're going to be blending in. And then you want to put just a little bit on your forehead. If you're going to be using a powder contour, this process will come after all your makeup, or your cream product. That's when you can use a contour, a powder contour. So now I'm just going to give myself like a definition around here. I'm just going to be using my foundation, not a concealer, just around here. And I'm using this very lightweight brush. And on top of the contour as well, I'm just going to be dabbing the foundation on top just to soften it out a bit. As you're blending, any part of your face where you find like harsh lines, just try and blend it out. We're done with blending out the contour and the concealer, and you can still see that my face is still looking glowy and dewy because I'm being easy with the blending. Because I'm going to be using a liquid blush, this is the best time to use it on. So I'm just going to use my hand to put it on my face. You want to put it on your high bones. So you're blending it upwards and inwards. So now I'm going to be using my setting powder. It's been a while since I used all my liquid products because I did that before I did my eyeshadow and other things. So you want to make sure you're setting your concealer again, because at this point anything you do on your face will stay like that for the rest of the day. So because you've been talking, you've been making expressions, if you've got crease around here and you put your powder, you're setting in the crease, which means you're going to have creasing and lines for the rest of the day. So now you just want to make sure you don't have anything around your eye, under your eyes. You just want to make sure you don't have lines. You want to make sure you're touching with your brush I'm using the small brush that you want to touch on every other place. And now it's time to set with your powder. So I'm just gonna take some powder. It's a white powder. This is how it looks, and I'm just gonna dab on my hand, just give it warmth. I'm gonna do it on every part. So this is a highlighting powder, so I'm not putting it everywhere on my face, just the highlighted parts. So if you use powder, contour and bronzer, this is the time to do that. So I've used liquid contour before, but just to give it like an in-depth, I'm just going to add a little bit of powder contour. Just to take away from the brightness. I like to use it on my forehead. And I like to use it here to give me the illusion of an elongated face. So now I'm just going to use my all over powder everywhere on my face. So now it's time to set my face and make it look like skin. This is a final part you don't want to miss. This is going to blend in your powder into your skin, make it look like skin, make it stay for the whole day. I use Morphe setting spray. You can already see how it's melting into my skin. And so if you're using a highlighter, this is the time to use it after your setting spray, because it's just going to make it more pronounced and more pigmented. So when you're using your highlighter, you just want to put it on your high cheekbones. You just want to put it on top. You don't want to press it in too much, because whatever little you put will be pronounced. I promise you, because you've used your setting spray, little will go a long way. You can see it. I like to put it around here, and I like to blend it in. Like my face is literally glowing, everything blends in seamlessly. So this is the finished look of this, and one thing you want to take note is don't powder every part of your face. Try to avoid your cheeks just a little bit, just dab in a little bit of powder, because you still want it to glow. You mostly want to put your powder on places where you crease, like your chin, under your eye area, your forehead, you know, just your T-zone. So around here you want to leave it a little bit just so it's glowy and looks glittery and dewy throughout the whole day. So this is the finished look, and what do you think about this? I hope at this point you've understood how you can do your blending, how you can blend your makeup seamlessly and for you to look flawless all day. And just one thing I want to point out there, if after all of this you still have creasing, that's not a problem at all. At the end of the day, you must have made lots of expressions and it could leave a little bit of lines, and that's fine. Thank you very much for watching. Please do help me like, help me subscribe, help me share as well. Leave your comment and turn on the notification bell so you're alerted the next time I share my video. And if you have any other videos that you would want me to create, any other tutorial, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section. Thank you for watching once more, and bye.